How's it going, everyone? I'm Jojo and I've got you back with another video. As you can see, there's quite a few things here. We're doing a Desert Eagle tier list. There's 41 skins, so this could be a little bit of a longer video. But let's go straight over the tiers. So we've got God tier. I'm just using a template and then I changed the name of this one. God tier, this is our S tier. Amazing, this is our A tier. Good, this is our B tier. Okay, which is our mid tier. You know, not bad, not great. Bad, this is obviously our bad tier, and poo poo, this is just like, we might as well just take default. So let's get straight into it, and we're going to get started with what I believe to be the Urban DD Pat. Now, it doesn't look like I can see anything that isn't Urban DD Pat on this, so I think this is the one. And honestly, I'm not a massive fan. I'm going to put it in bad. I was going to put it in poo poo, but it's not quite poo poo. Urban Rubble, on the other hand, I think is. I really don't like Urban Rubble. At least Urban DD Pat is a little bit more vibrant, specifically with CS2. But Urban Rubble, it ain't for me. Going on to next, we have the Calligraphy. This is the new one in the gallery case, and I'll quickly show you guys this in game. I'm not going to show all of them in game, but I'll show some of them in game. Yeah, and I don't know, guys, it's just not doing it for me. I like the fact that the graffiti itself is quite shiny and goes against the skin, you know, shine itself. So you're getting like this double shine effect. But I don't like what's going on with the handle. I don't like the overall colour. Like, the overall colour looks like really bad. Yeah, no, not for me. This one for sure is poo-poo. Sorry. We're going to do the same for the Desert Eagle Mudder. I've never liked it. I'm sorry, it's just one that I've never liked. I know that some people have a bit of a cult following for it, and I do understand that in like FN it's pretty clean, but nah, not for me. I think this is the bronze. I don't like this one as well. There's another skin on the list later on, the bronze deco. You might as well just get that if you want sort of like a bronze finish. But yeah, blue ply. So here's the thing, blue ply actually isn't that bad. We're going to go and put it into the OK tier. I'll show you it in game real quick. And if you can pick this bad boy up in minimal wear or factory new, you're actually getting a fairly decent and unique looking Deagle here. It looks like it's just a piece of wood, which is really interesting considering, you know, the Deagle is a gun. You know, it's metal, and they've completely changed the way it looks. It looks literally like a wooden toy, and I think that looks really cool, and it's very blue as well, so it goes really well in cheap blue loadouts. Honestly, it isn't too bad at all. Up next is the bronze deco. Now, this has pretty much always been extremely cheap, and I genuinely don't know why. I think the main reason is probably because there's tons of them. So the Chroma 2 case was opened like mad when it was, you know, when it used to be like 3 cents a case. People were opening tens of thousands of these per day, so that's why there's probably tons of these. I mean, even in StatTrak factory new, it's like less than $1.50. It's really cheap. But yeah, no, I really like this. I think this is one of the best blue Deagles in the game. It's really shiny, it looks really nice. It's always been one that I've loved, and if I've wanted a cheap budget Deagle, this has always been the one I always grab. Bronze deco for what you get is superb. So for me, I think I've got to put it in amazing tier. It's not quite S tier or God tier, because it just isn't. It, you know, it has its limitations. It is pretty basic, but for what you get, it's definitely worth it. That's for sure. I'm a big fan of the bronze deco. So moving on to next, we have what appears to be the Cobalt Disruption. I've just got all of the skins on my other screen as a reference, so if you hear me like stalling a little bit, that's why. But yeah, the Cobalt Disruption. Now, this one used to be pretty cheap, I'll be honest. Like, back in the day, it used to be pretty affordable, but nowadays it's not quite so much. It's gone up in price significantly, especially if you want it in StatTrak. And we'll take a quick little look at it. And don't get me wrong, for a blue Deagle, it is extremely nice. I do like how vibrant it is. But I can't help but deny that it is pretty much just Urban DD Pat, but shiny. And, you know, and blue. But, I don't know. It doesn't wear very well, so you need to get at least a low float minimal wear for it to actually look half decent. And the pattern is pretty basic. And for the price, I don't know. All things considered, it's not amazing, but I do still quite like it, and it does inevitably go into blue loadouts. So I don't know. I think because of that, I've got to put it in sort of like top of okay, maybe good actually, because I do think it's objectively better than the blue ply. Yeah, we'll keep it here for now, but I think there's other blue Deagles you can go for that are better. So we're going to get into our first S tier, and that is going to be the Code Red. Now, I really like the Code Red. It is probably, in my opinion, the best red Deagle in the game. Maybe not, actually. There is one more that I like a little bit more, but I mean, just look at this thing. It's so unique. The red is so bright, which is really important for me because I think a lot of red skins have been washed out with CS2. This is definitely not one of them. I love the, like, grip it has as well. It's just a super, super, super nice skin. I've always loved the Code Red. The Code Red, just without a shadow of a doubt, is S tier for me. Like, there's no doubt about it. So next, we have the Conspiracy. Now, the Conspiracy is pretty good. I won't show it in game because I'm not going to show everything in game. It's definitely good for sure, and I'm putting it above the Cobalt Disruption purely based on a price perspective. It's probably one of, if not your best, black Deagle options. It's very sleek, it's very simple, very good craft potential. Next, we have the Corinthian. Now, I used to rock this for quite a while. I think it's pretty good, but I do think there are other like low tier Deagles that are better. I'm going to put it at the top of okay for now. Again, it's got pretty decent craft potential. We're getting into our next S tier here, and this is the Crimson Web. Now, I know this might actually be a little bit of a hot take, but I just love this thing. I know the red's quite dark, and a lot of people don't like that, but I just think it is the perfect, like, shade of red, you know? It's like a deep crimson red, and I'll be honest, I've got one in StatTrack field tested, and it really does not wear well at all, which is a little bit annoying, but luckily my one's not an awful float. So if you can get it in a good float, you can get away with field tested, but anything like halfway through field tested and higher, you're barely going to see the skin. And Factory New is extremely expensive, especially StatTrack FN, because it's float capped. So it's not a cheap skin by any sense of the imagination, and it's extremely old. It's one of the first Deagles that was released, but it still stands the test of time, in my opinion. It doesn't look low res, which a lot of these older skins are starting to look, which is important. The webbing looks fantastic if you get like this one, for example, 2 big webs and a web on the back as well. This would actually be quite a high tier one, if I'm being honest. But yeah, no, this is probably one of my favorite Deagles in the game, and there's a reason why I still have it to this day. So next we have, I believe it's the Detective, or is it Detective or is it Directive? Sorry, Directive. Yeah, no, it's kind of cool. I'd put it in okay tier. It's nothing special, but it's pretty cool. Desert Eagle Emerald Jorgamander. Now, I used to have one of these, and I sold it way too early. This thing is 10x'd in price since the time I sold it, which really hurts to say. So I have a little bit of sour flavour in my mouth whenever I talk about this Deagle, but I can't deny it's probably the best Deagle in the game. I don't know, definitely top 5. It's an easy S tier, and anyone who says otherwise, I think has lost the plot a little bit. I'll quickly show you it in game because it is just a thing of beauty. Here it is. I mean, just look at it. To be honest, it used to... This is a bit of a hot take. I think it actually used to look a bit better in CSGO, but it still just looks superb. Like, I love the little dragon on it as well, like that little homage to the dragon lore. It just looks so cool, but it's just a shame that it's so much money. But yeah. So next we have the Fennec Fox. Now, the Fennec Fox is pretty cool. I like the fact that a lot of it is really 3D. I think that's quite unique. But I can't deny, I think this skin is a little bit overrated. I know a lot of people love the Fennec Fox, but I don't know. It's just something about it just doesn't 100% do it for me. I know furries go absolutely crazy for this one, but it's cute and it's shiny and I like the 3D effect. So I think I've got to at least put it in amazing tier because it's very visually pleasing. It's just not personally one I like too much, but I definitely have one. On the other hand, I would certainly have one of these. Now, the Golden Koi had probably one of the biggest glow-ups of any skin in the entire game when CS2 came out. This skin looked alright in CSGO, and holy shit, it looks insane in CS2. I would actually argue that out of the reds in the Operation Bravo case, this is the nicer red now. It is so good, and if you get a low float, you know, all of these scratches disappear, and it just looks stunning. It is pretty much the only true golden Desert Eagle that's in the game. I'm sure we'll get another one day, but this is pretty much your best bet if you just want a standard like gold Desert Eagle. And for that, I have got to put the Golden Koi in S tier. It is probably my second favorite, if not my favorite Deagle in the game. I would probably own one if I could afford it, but I'll be honest, this thing ain't cheap now. So yeah, and I'd be funny about it as well, because any skins that you can get in StatTrak, I just have an urge to get them in StatTrak, if that makes sense. So I'd need it in StatTrak, and that just ain't happening anytime soon. Okay, moving on to the hand cannon. Now, I don't care what any of you say, this skin's trash. Like, anyone who uses the hand cannon is just an OG gripping onto hope. The only reason this exists, and the only reason this is loads of money, is because of the collection it's in. I know that the souvenirs are still loads as well, but the only reason the souvenirs are loads is because of the history it holds. If this was a newer skin, and even still, like, the red in the collection was still amazing, the souvenirs would be nothing. Like, they would be so cheap. But yeah, no, hand cannon I'm gonna put in okay, because it's not terrible, but it's certainly not that great. Okay, the heat treated I'm putting whacking straight in amazing. I've got a tier 2 blue gem and I love it. The tier 1 blue gems look absolutely stunning. The heat treat is really cool. I'll actually show you mine right now. Bear with me. Here it is. Thank you. Here it is. This is my tier 2 blue gem. It's not a great float, unfortunately, but I still really like it. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But I have a funny feeling that they made this darker recently, because this never used to look this dark, and for some reason it just appears darker than it was when I got it. But maybe I'm tripping and getting paranoid about it. But yeah, no. If you can grab yourself a blue gem for relatively cheap, then it's definitely worth picking one of these bad boys up. But that is the problem. They aren't cheap because, you know, they're old now, or they're out of you can't get them anymore. So yeah, just don't get scammed, but they're cool. Okay, so the heirloom is up next. This is another one I'm going to show off because I quite like it. Now it's pretty much the default, but the I believe the grip is slightly different. The shade of silver that you get with the Deagle is also different. It's like a polished silver, and it's got these really cool golden scribings. Now, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with the heirloom. I do think it is just a little bit basic, but I think it's still pretty good, so I'm going to put it in the good tier. Okay, next we have the Hypnotic. Now, honestly, the Deagle, when it comes to the skin game, just doesn't miss. It really doesn't. Like, this is another banging skin. I would probably, like, immediately put this thing in S tier, but S tier is getting pretty full, so I'm going to put it at the top of amazing. I love the Hypnotic though, don't get me wrong. It's probably going to stay right at the top of A tier because it is super clean and super nice, and for how old it is, it genuinely isn't that much. So yeah, super cool skin. The Kamuchi Dragon. Now, this took the world by storm when it was released, and nowadays it's fell off from grace quite substantially, but I still think it's extremely cool. I love the purple grip. I love the fact that the actual, like, color of the metal has gone green, and the gold, the dragon inscribing is just so sick. I think the Kamuchi Dragon, you know, similar to the dueling dragons, is one of the best, like, designs on a gun. I'm gonna put it at the top of a good tier. It's not as good as it was in Go. Go was a little bit more vibrant, but yeah, still really cool. So next we have the light rail, excuse me, and the light rail is basically just a cheap blaze, but yeah, it's pretty good. I like the light rail. I'd probably put it above the heirloom, if I'm being completely honest. Actually, I think it's pretty clean. You can't really go wrong with it. So yeah, Mecha Industries is up next, and I don't know, this one just kind of feels like a bit lame now that the print stream exists. It's still very nice, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a shadow of what it used to be. You know, the Mecha Industries used to be really cool. And nowadays, I mean, the price is pretty evident with it as well, because even in Star Trek FN, this thing ain't that much. But I mean, if you want a nice shiny white Deagle, then maybe it's the choice for you. But I'm just going to put it in good tier, because it's not bad, but it's not great. This is the Meteorite, and I'm going to put this at the top of OK. I actually do think the Meteorite is pretty cool, and it's a skin that's going to go up in price because you now can't get it dropped, so it's part of an old collection that's now been discontinued. So, bit of an investment opportunity too. I would stock up on a few of these in maybe FN or something. But yeah, no, overall pretty cool skin. I quite like the Meteorite. Okay, so we're going on to another Deagle that I used to have, which is the Midnight Storm. Now, hot take alert, warning, I think the Midnight Storm is nicer than the Sunset Storm. And for that, let's rank them both right now. Now, the Sunset Storm is a little bit more in your face. It's like, oh wow, he's got a Sunset Storm. Whereas, you know, the Midnight Storm is a little bit more subtle. But if you see, the pattern is pretty much exactly the same. It is just one's green, one's blue. One's greeny blue, one's red. So, yeah, I just prefer the colour of the Midnight Storm. And the fact that it's extremely cheap as well compared to the Sunset Storm. It's actually like a tenth of the price. So, there's that to bear in mind. But I'm going to put this in good still, the Sunset Storm, because the Sunset Storm is still pretty nice. I'm going to put it sort of behind the Kamuchi Dragon. It's one of the better ones. Next is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the newest Deagle in the game. It is the Mint Fan, and I don't know, this one's just not for me. I know some people that actually really like this, but I'm just going to put it in bad tier. Sorry, I don't really like it. Joint for like newest Deagle in the game is the Mulberry. This was extremely sought after when it first dropped. Everyone liked it, but I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think if you're going for a red Deagle, there's so many better options and cheaper options as well. The fact that you could get a code red in minimal wear for half the price of this in factory new is beyond me. So yeah, no, I think this, I honestly think the Mulberry is bad. I don't like it. Sorry. The Naga. The Naga I'm going to put in okay. Again, another one that I used to own. It's pretty cool. I like the little skull and the snakes coming out of it. It's not bad at all, and it's very well priced. So the Naga is definitely worthy of okay. Night Heist is up next, and I quite like the design of it, I'll be honest. I think it looks pretty sleek and pretty interesting. I'm going to put it in okay. I was going to put it in bad, but I don't know. I quite like the finer details to this one. The Knight. I'm going to put the Knight in amazing. I really, really like the Knight. It's super sleek, super clean, and has unbelievable crafting potential. I'm going to put it at the top, towards the top of amazing. As with the Ocean Drive as well, but I'm going to put this towards the bottom of amazing. I think the Ocean Drive pops really well. Another one that you should possibly look into investing in, because this is from a discontinued case. So you, when the cases run out, you won't be able to get this anymore. But yeah, no, very clean, very clean, very colour vibrant. It's just a shame there's not a lot else going on it. It's just a clean matte finish skin. The Oxide Blaze. Now, I've tried to love this skin, but I just don't. So I'm going to put it at the top of bad, because it's not horrendous, but it just isn't that cool. It has some crafting potential though, so that's why it's not in poo-poo. The Pilot. Now the Pilot is one that I have always really liked, to be honest. It's a classic skin. It's basically the heirloom but better. It's got these gold like shiny bits, this cool like pilot emblem. This is a cool one. This is really cool. I'm gonna put this in good tier, towards the bottom of good tier for sure. But I'm gonna put it above the heirloom. Actually, I'm gonna put it here. Yeah. Print Stream is just objectively an S tier. I think I'm gonna put it like third. I know it's a basic bitch choice, but I am a Print Stream lover, so I've got to give it the respect it deserves and the status it deserves. I mean, it's just superb. It's so unique, and the white and black just goes so well. Yeah, no, print stream for days. We've got another super new one here in the is it Serpent Strike, something like that. I think I unboxed one of these recently, and I like the fact that it is pattern based. Like this top bit here changes color. That's cool. I like the 3D element it has to it. And if I quickly show you one in Battle Scarred, it gets quite an interesting little design. As you can see, the color goes away, and you're left with this scaly silver Deagle. So honestly, if I'm gonna keep it real, getting a super high float Serpent Strike is really cool, because you're just left with this coloured snake and a scaly silver skin, which I think is really cool. It looks a bit like a tattoo. So yeah, no, I think this one's good. I do. I think this one's good. One of my buddies has one that he unboxed. It's pretty cool. Sputnik is next, and I can't lie, it's a bit mid, but it's not bad. You might as well just get it in a clean finish so that it doesn't look beat up at all. I like the little design on it. It's pretty cute. Yeah, it's alright. It's nothing too crazy. So I'm going to put these three together because, and this is going to sound crazy, all three of these are going in S tier. The Blaze is probably my favourite Deagle. If not, maybe my second favourite. Or is it my third? Or is it my fourth? Yeah, fourth. I know that's a hot take, but I just think those three are slightly nicer. I think the Starcade is nicer than the Code Red, and I think the Trigger Discipline's the worst S tier. But I really like the Trigger Discipline, and I like the fact that the pros are starting to get the Trigger Discipline love as well. It is a super clean skin. If it was like a higher quality, like a pink or a red, it would be worth so much more money, because it is really good. It is probably the best purple. Oh wait, never mind. A lot of these Deagles I've just realised are purple actually. I was going to say it's probably the best purple Deagle in the game, but it isn't. But I really do like the Trigger Discipline. I'll quickly show it now. Oh, damn, look at this. Look how clean it is. It's just black, blue and pink. It is so nice. It pops. It's sick. Like this in StatTrack FN, that'll sort me out. But I don't have it because I prefer the Crimson Web. So yeah, I might get one of these for CT side if I get bored of my heat treated. That is definitely a possibility. And what were the other ones I ranked? Yeah, I showed the Starcade. Starcade's really cool. That glitter effect, the most unique Deagle in the game. And last but certainly not least, we have the Tilted. Now, the Tilted is pretty cool, actually. I don't think it's... I like the guy who's like angry and he's pointing at the other guy. I like the colour of the Deagle. I like the little eyes. It's got so much character to it. The bunny. There's so many little Easter eggs on this one. And it looks very clean in a low float. In a high float, it's pretty horrible. But in a low float, it is really, really cool. So, yeah, no, honestly, I've got to give the Tilted amazing. But it's right at the bottom because... yeah, but I think that's going to be the list. I'm going to quickly see if there's anything that I want to change. And from just quickly scanning over, I don't think there is. I think I'm good with this. So the Crimson Web is my favourite Deagle. And the Bronzer, or the Bronze, or whatever, is my least favourite Deagle. And this is my list. I know that I have a lot of S tiers, but I think the Deagle doesn't miss, I'll be honest. Like, I think... there are some objectively bad Deagles, and there are some objectively amazing Deagles like this one. So, yeah, that's my list. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. I know there's some hot takes, but, you know, deal with it. It's not the end of the world. But, yeah, another one of a bit of a longer video, so I do apologise for that, but there was 41 skins to rank, so, you know, you got to cut me some slack. But yeah, that's my Deagle tier list. Let me know your thoughts on your changes in the comment section below. And for any of you who disagree with these S tiers, honestly, like, have a little look at them in game and maybe come back before commenting, because they are brilliant, especially this one. So yeah, anyway, thanks guys, peace.